Final question for you. You've said that you want the deal with AJ to be done by the end of Monday.
Monday is the deadline.
What's up, fight fans? This is Kirk DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury. And this is what he recently said 14 hours ago. So that was today or yesterday, give or take, right? He said, quote, "The king must return to his throne. There is a long and lonely road that only I can walk on. But after the long and hard battles awaits immortality. Gods fighting one-man army. The battle was won over 2,000 years ago by a man who goes by the name of Yeshua. In his holy name, I march forward. 2026, Tyson Fury." And let me counterpunch. For a minute, I thought he was to be called to preach. But he was talking about his career and I guess the comparison to what Jesus Christ did, and I think he's using Jesus as momentum or encouragement to make a comeback. And this is what I will say to that. If Tyson plans to come back, that's fine. What I don't want to see, though, is you bringing up Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior and then turn around and say, I'm not doing that. So if you're going to bring Jesus into this, make it about something. Make it real. Make that now authentic. Because if you don't, you're just going to look like a jerk. You know what I mean? And you don't want to be someone that brings Jesus into it and then all of a sudden you decide to turn around and walk the other direction like we've seen him do a couple times this year when it came down to him coming back to the sport. Okay, because he can make all the mind up he wants and become all indecisive or whatever, but don't bring Jesus into this talking about, well, hey, the battle's already won and I have to come back to my throne and stuff like that. If you're coming back. But now since you brought Jesus into it, now you got to come back, in my mind, And I think Tyson Fury should get momentum because Alexander Usyk is doing some of the stuff that he used to do, fighting guys and wanting to take on Jake Paul in the octagon after his career is over, fighting Deontay Wilder. That's some classic Tyson Fury stuff. So why shouldn't the originator come back? You know what I mean? Because, at this point, Usyk has lost some credibility in the minds and the eyes of certain people based on his decision to not to fight certain people and to drop belts and doing all this, that, and the other. So, I think this is a perfect time for Tyson to come back. You know what I mean? To kind of come back and make his claim. What else I don't want to see? I don't want to see Tyson Fury just come back like, here I am, hear me roar, and fight some of the top fights. I want him to fight some top fighters to show us that he's really about coming back. You know what I mean? I don't want him to cut in line of anybody that's ranked right now because, I'm tired of seeing shit like that. He doesn't get a pass because he's been retired for a while. He was even retired at one point and still had the WBC belt. That just shows you the credibility of the WBC. They ain't got any, right? So I don't want to see that, and people wonder why guys like Terrence Crawford doesn't want to pay those high-ass sanctioning fees because he knows it's just a joke and a pimping tactic. You know what I mean? It's a pimping tactic. So I think Tyson Fury should come back, and I think he should come back and make a huge statement by fighting someone credible. How about this, Tyson? How about you fight the guy that you signed on to fight back in 2020? I get Caballero. You remember him? The guy you signed to fight, then all of a sudden no one talked about that fight anymore. And then the mediation came through, and then all of a sudden you were supposed to be fighting AJ. Then all of a sudden you were fighting Deontay again for the third time. You remember that? How about fight that guy that you signed to fight, Aget Caballo? If he beats Aget Caballo, he could get and should get full credibility of coming back to regain his throne. But you guys tell me what you think of Tyson the Gypsy King Fury stating that he is coming back in 2026. Yes, you heard it yet again. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.